With MPanel Production version 4, we now have a page of settings which gives